what haven't we talked about at this point that, if I'm a family business, I own an emerging market or, emerging middle market business or a middle market business. What do I need to know? I can think of one right away, is that they better be working with somebody that really understands this plan, because if it got blown up on me, and I'm telling you, my tax attorney that I went to talk with, I'm not putting any names on here, is sharp, like sharp, my favorite guy to work with. And
Right.
so when I started talking generalities, it wasn't enough for him to take, and understand this. Now, once, what I'm doing is, as soon as this podcast is done, I'm sending it over to him and saying, I want you to listen to this. And then, we can put the pieces together.
Right.
How do you build a team, around this?
It's a challenging issue. I told you that when I first learned this from Ron Clausen, Ron will travel
Okay.
and work, with the local council to kind of walk through how all of that works. But his is a hefty cost for some of the lower end folks. Okay.
Got it.
And typically, Ron's dealing with stuff that's going to be, $25 or $30 or $40,000 in terms of upfront costs. And then you got local counsel and all that other kind of stuff. And then you got our fees and on and on. So it's not without its cost, but the value proposition is substantial. To our point, if you're dealing with a $10 million business and you're saving $3 million of taxes and then all of the financing costs and that kind of stuff, hey, if it costs a little bit of advisory money, it's good.
And let me jump in. If you are going to sell the business on the open market, and you're doing a capital transition, a capital transaction, then you not only have the $3 million of taxes, but you still have all the advisory and attorney fees as well. They're not going away.
That's true. Yeah.
So I want to, don't put that on you. You know what I'm saying? I think you can take that out of the equation, because if you're doing a capital transaction, there better be some attorneys and accountants and whatnot dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You're going to be paying.
So what I decided to do was, again, the vast majority of the folks that we're dealing with are in the, I use the parameters as the $2 to $20 million space. But if I had to be honest with you, the vast majority of the substantial number of these things we've done are in the $2 to $10 million space. Okay. Now, the advisory group there is still relatively high powered, but the challenge that I have was what you just articulated. If I am a succession and transition financial advisor, I still don't have the credibility, no matter what designation I have, to go to an attorney or an accountant. And even though I might be able to speak in detailed language about tax codes and IRC sections and all that kind of mess, I don't have the credentials. So I either import Ron, or what I did was create a strategic partnership, and I had a substantial one already with a member of a prominent law firm here in Hampton Roads, who is a noted attorney, but he's also an accountant. So he's a tax attorney, a business tax accountant, having that background, and his firm is noted as business advisors. And I gave him all of the stuff and said, here's why I think this works, tear it apart. And I have that relationship with him. And again, his first reaction was, it sounds too good to be true. But then they started digging into it because of all the stuff that I had pounded Ron Clausen about. And remember, I'm an analytical guy. So all of a sudden the light went on for this particular attorney and his firm, and they have now embraced it wholly as a part of the succession and transition opportunities they bring to clients. But more importantly, he's able to pick up the phone and talk to either another attorney that the client may have a relationship with, or his accountant, because he's an accountant and an attorney, and it's not me. So it's one professional to another to say, hey, look, I know you're looking at this thing and you probably are looking at scans. It sounds like scammy type of stuff, but you're looking at it wrong because you're not. This is a counterintuitive strategy. We want ordinary income tax treatment. We do not want a capital gains treatment. And in an S corp situation done correctly, this is the result we get. And once they start to explain that, all of a sudden you realize, as long as I avoid anything that looks like a capital transaction, then I'm going to get ordinary income. And if I keep it to the annual increase in AAA, I've already paid the income. I do not have to pay the next level of tax. So that's how we put the strategic stuff together and deal with the advisors. Does that make sense?